Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Raw review for the 16th of August 2021. This is the last Raw before SummerSlam, probably the weakest Raw before SummerSlam I think I've ever seen. Show opened with a recap video of last week's events between Riddle and Randy Orton. Orton enters. He's cheered for the most part. Riddle is asked why he gave Riddle the RKO. He explained he didn't need friends and he'd beaten AJ Styles without anyone's help. He reminds us he's a 14-time champion, claimed he did all that by himself. He didn't know anyone. In explanation, Orton said he's the Predator and he'll prove it on Almost tonight. He calls Almost out and calls him a force of nature and other insults. They chant RK Bro at him. Orton's about to say he hit Almost with the RKO. Riddle's music hit. And anyway, um, AJ Styles and Almost interrupts. Styles says he didn't care why Orton gave Riddle the RKO, but he would be happy to see it again. Styles then said Orton only beat him because Riddle had been involved, but there'd be nothing to save him tonight. Styles is sick of hearing bro, which leads to a bro chant. He challenges Riddle to a match so he could break his jaw. Riddle accepts. Riddle assumed Orton would be in his corner, and match was made official in record time because the graphic promoting the match popped up literally seconds after this, proving everything being goofy. Jimmy Smith says it's official. Jimmy Smith is a horrible announcer. After the break, Smith said the match was made official during the break, even though it had been on the Videotron beforehand. Anyway, AJ Styles with Almost defeats Riddle in 10:51. Not a bad match, actually pretty good for what they had. Uh, Riddle wanted a fist bump from Orton. It doesn't happen. Styles is in control until Riddle wipes him out, and then a dive which leads to a break. Riddle mounted a comeback following the break, hitting a bridging German for near fall. Styles follows with a fireman's carry and neckbreaker for near fall. Riddle slips out of the Styles class and attempts and kicks Styles' chest, but Styles counters with a senton into a calf crusher until Riddle gets a rope break. Riddle then hits an explosive suplex into the turnbuckles, goes to the top, but gets distracted by Almost, who's standing there. Styles then knocks him off the ropes and hits Styles Clash for a pinfall win. Decent enough match. Could have given it more time, but this is WWE where the stories matter more than the matches, which is unfortunate. Sarah interviews Nikki Ash in the gorilla position. Nikki speaks about confidence. She says she's confident she could beat Rhea Ripley tonight and retain her championship at SummerSlam. San Antonio Spurs player shown at ringside. He's a gold medal from the Tokyo Olympics and received a ovation from the crowd. Good cross promotional marketing there. Riddle walks through the back. He's sad and he's got his scooter by his side. He tells Kevin Patrick that he didn't give up on RK Bro after all these weeks, but tonight he's just sad. Rhea Ripley defeats Nikki Ash in a non-titles match, 8:24. Charlotte Flair enters and joins commentary. She seems to forget Byron Saxton's name and apologize. She tries to make up for it by saying Saxton was her dad's favorite, acknowledging her father even though he's no longer with the company. Nick hit a crossbody outside, which Nikki hits that, which is less than a minute and a half into the match. Ripley is then in control after the break. Delayed vertical suplex for near fall. Nikki comes back with a leg scissors takedown and a roll up for a near fall again, followed by a tornado DDT for near fall. Ripley catches Nikki off the ropes and hits a Northern Light suplex for yet another near fall. Ripley then kicks out of another roll up before hitting a big boot and Riptide for a sudden death pinfall win. I think this is unfortunate going into the pay-per-view, but they don't even care about the Peacock shows anymore. Charlotte mocks Nikki after the match. Nikki attacks her. Charlotte tries to escape, but Ripley knocks her down. Ripley then hits Nikki, and they both get their shots on Charlotte before clearing the ring. Jinder Mahal is psyched up, veering Shanky in the back. Mahal thinks Drew McIntyre is threatening their lives with the sword, and apparently this will take it away, and he can't bring the sword to SummerSlam if the Indian folks win the match. Second hour begins. What a waste of time. Commercial for NXT TakeOver that at least is remotely useful. Hype video for Bobby Lashley. MVP tells a stagehand to get them unseasoned chicken breast and purified water. Patrick approaches them asking MVP what he can expect from Lashley. Goldberg in the face-to-face tonight. MVP says Goldberg disrespected him the last time. They're on Raw, and Lashley will repay Goldberg. 2-on-1 handicap match. Shanky and Veer are defeated by Drew McIntyre 3:31. Heels are in control for the early part of the match. He kicks Shanky out with a Claymore kick and a win. Crowd is quiet until there's big moves at the end because absolutely no one cares about this stuff. McIntyre win means Veer and Shanky can't be in ringside at SummerSlam. McIntyre can bring his sword with him. Anyway, so after the match, McIntyre says he'd be coming full bore at SummerSlam. Charlotte complains to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce in the back about being attacked by Nikki and Ripley for no reason. She said she couldn't wait to get her revenge at SummerSlam and have a tag match later. Charlotte's annoyed and she leaves. Moist TV, hosted by John Morrison. Morrison has a new show, ring set up like Miz TV, but there's pool toys in the ring along with a bucket and the drip stick. Morrison introduces the Miz, who walks out to the ring. Morrison seems annoyed that Miz is able to walk again. Morrison asks Miz what his favorite movie is. He says they're the Marine movies. Morrison had another question. Were you pretending to be injured? Miz says he never lied to Morrison, and he'd never use him or fake an injury. Morrison isn't buying any of this. Miz tries to reason with him until Damian Priest interrupts. Priest reads some unnatural, stupid dialogue, and Miz says he's never been injured in his 16-year career, so he wouldn't know how to react to his first major injury anyway. He knew some wrestlers competed hurt, including Morrison at WrestleMania, but didn't want to risk anything because he had to take care of his family. Miz admitted to being cleared a few weeks ago, and Morrison is surprised to learn that fact. Priest makes fun of him. Miz runs away, and Morrison suggests they celebrate the debut of The Moist by having a match between Miz and Priest. Miz doesn't like the idea. Priest pushes Miz into the kiddie pool. This is up next. Damian Priest, who is another talent that wasted, 239, defeating The Miz. Sheamus joins commentary, and Miz tries to kiss up to him, thinking that he may get some help that way. It doesn't happen that way. Miz takes control briefly, but becomes distracted. Morrison wouldn't let him use the drip stick. Morrison leaves. Priest comes back, hits the brogue kick, and gets the win. Sheamus didn't appreciate Priest using his move, and that's that. Then Eva Marie tells Doudrop that she blew it last week by losing to Alexa Bliss. Doudrop tries to blame it on Lily. Marie cuts her off and said she didn't ask her to speak. Marie suggested that Doudrop go to the playground and take care of the little problem. Doudrop seemed confused. Marie tells her to bring Lily back. Miz approaches Morrison in the back, and they even spoke about how hurt they all were until they were going to make up. Kingston and Xavier Woods are in the background, held up a sign that says, "Buy our shirt." And Morrison and Miz are oblivious to this. Alexa's playground. Bliss speaks to the doll and mocks Eva Marie. Doudrop shows up, grabs the doll. Doudrop becomes frightened and gives it back, and Bliss laughs at all of this. This is just horrible TV. Mansoor with Mustafa Ali defeats Mace with T-Bar 157. Why even have them get dressed for this? Mace seems to have won with a roll-up, but Ali kicked him in the face from outside the ring. Referee didn't see. Mansoor rolls him up for the pinfall win. Almost tells Sarah that he'd kill the legend Randy Orton. That's a little overkill. Styles says Almost would be the new legend killer, while Styles himself was the moron killer because he already beat Riddle. Third hour begins with a Goldberg video package. Randy Orton defeats AJ Omos. 347 Omos has his own entrance music. Apparently they'll split them off sooner or later. Orton goes for the RKO. Almost blocks it. Almost blocks a punch and hits a delayed scoop slam. Almost climbs back on. The crowd's chanting for Orton. Styles kicks Orton and the referee calls for the Bella DQ. And Styles sets up for the phenomenal forearm. Riddle runs out to his music, so the music guy's in on the rib here. Riddle helps Orton to his feet. Orton grabs the mic and he says respect is earned. Orton said Riddle had his back tonight, so kid, you've earned my respect. Orton then said RK Bro was back. They shake hands, crowd cheers. Orton gives Riddle a hug and Riddle is excited. Riddle then says, Randy, you make me so happy. And then Riddle said RK Bro was challenging Styles and almost the tag titles at SummerSlam, and everyone's happy with that. NXT champion Karrion Kross defeats Jeff Hardy in a non-title NXT match in 50 seconds. Hardy is jumping him early, but Kross reverses a twist of fate into the cross bracket and the submission win. Jeff Hardy at 42, 43 years old can't even last a minute anymore. Anyway, Eva Marie is angry at Doudrop for failing to get the doll. Doudrop is in stunned silence. Eva Marie slaps her twice. Footage from earlier today, Reginald takes a trip to the park. He speaks to the camera about his childhood. Truth and Akira Tozawa are in disguise. They do some stupid 24/7 stuff. There's a new Elias video. He reads a tombstone saying Elias 2017 to 2021 and the remnants of the guitar. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax defeat Raw Women's Champion Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. 7:33. Why are we here with this? Anyway, Jax gives Nikki a running hip attack in the corner, followed with a modified stink face. This leads to a Rikishi chant. Nikki fights back after the break, gives Charlotte a bulldog. Ripley makes a hot tag and hits Charlotte with a headbutt, low drop kick, and a spinning kick. Northern Light suplex for near fall. Jax sets up Vader bomb. Charlotte tags herself in. Charlotte knocks Nikki off the apron before giving Ripley natural selection for the win. Jax is annoyed by this. Shayna Baszler is shown watching in the back, and she's playing with a deck of cards. Bobby Lashley, Goldberg face-to-face segment. Goldberg mentions that he moved his family to Texas, and he's happy to introduce his son, who is sitting at ringside with a few friends. And Goldberg said that Gage is the reason he came out of retirement. He said he knew his son could go online and see who Goldberg was, but he wanted his son to see it in person. And Bobby Lashley and MVP interrupted. MVP said Goldberg is outmatched. Goldberg thought he could come back and spear Jackhammer, but saw Lashley and knew it was different. He said he's facing a much more dangerous, explosive, and dominant man. Lashley said he knew Goldberg wanted a moment at SummerSlam, so he's going to give it to him. Goldberg said his career would be ended by the Almighty, or is told his career would be ended by the Almighty. Goldberg is amused and said Lashley, and he swears at him. Lashley's annoyed and tries attacking. Goldberg gives him a spear. Goldberg hops the guardrail and poses with his father as the show ends. This is just goofy and a horrible way to plug the SummerSlam semi-main event.